Today we are going to be looking at 8 studies of how meditation rewires the brain, how it changes the brain on a fundamental anatomical and physiological level. And honestly, after going through all this research and learning about the crazy benefits of meditation, I'm convinced to make it into a frequent practice for myself. And I promise that by the end of this video, you will be considering the same thing. So without further ado, let's get into the first research study, which is all about how through frequent meditation practices, the gray matter in your brain can actually increase in density, namely through the hippocampus, which is largely responsible for learning and memory. Now, if you guys don't know what gray matter is, it is basically a bunch of cell bodies, dendrites, axons, and stuff like that. And it is largely responsible for processing and uptaking information in the brain and spinal cord. So it is vital for intelligence. So when I say that the gray matter in the region of the brain, like the hippocampus, increases in density, I mean that area of the brain is getting beefed up by this gray matter, and thus its processing speed and uptaking of that center, like the hippocampus, is increased. This means that not only will your memory and learning improve vastly through frequent meditation practice, but also the connections that make that happen will continue to improve as well. Study number 2 looks at connectivity of the brain in non-meditators and frequent avid meditators. They specifically looked at the default mode network, or DMN for short. The DMN is a collection of different brain regions that all connect, and it is responsible when the brain is at rest, but the mind is wandering. It is responsible for things like recalling memories, daydreaming, processing the future, and things like that. And in avid meditators, they found that the default mode network was much more beefed up. It was much more capable. But what does this mean practically? Well, it basically means that you will have less mind wandering and more focused attention. Essentially, just your cognitive functioning as a whole will be far superior because of that enhanced connectivity in the default mode network. Study number 3 shows that through frequent meditation, the size of your amygdala actually decreases. Now, the amygdala is largely responsible for the fear center in your brain. A larger amygdala means more anxiety, more fear on a day-to-day basis. So when it shrinks, when it atrophies, that is actually a very good thing to your everyday life. And through frequent meditation use, in this study alone, it has been seen that the amygdala of meditators has atrophied over time, meaning that they are more calm and resilient to stress and fear and anxiety. Another fascinating change is cortical thickness. A study in 2005 looked at non-meditators versus avid meditators, plugging their brains into an MRI scanner, and they studied the cortices of the brain. And what they found is that areas designated to sensory processing and attention had much thicker cortices than other areas of the brain. Now, what does this tell us? This tells us that through frequent meditation use, your neural processing capabilities and sensory perception will be vastly improved. This means better attention control and heightened cognitive abilities. Study number 5 conducted an 8-week mindfulness training program, which basically looked at attention using computerized tasks. What they found is that meditation provided improvements in alerting, orienting, and conflict monitoring. This suggests that mindfulness training enhances the brain's ability to focus and manage attention. Practically, this means a boost in productivity, an increase in focus in just your everyday life, and just better conversational skills. Study number 6 reviewed numerous EEG studies and compiled all the relevant information on how meditation can impact brain wave patterns. And they found that through frequent meditation, the activity of alpha and theta waves increases exponentially. An alpha wave is linked to a kind of relaxed state but still awake, versus a theta wave is related to a deep relaxation meditative state. In all practicality, an increase in alpha wave patterns and theta wave patterns means reduced stress, but an increase in a relaxation state and better mental clarity. Study number 7 is all about how meditation can influence emotional responses. Basically, the researchers took an 8-week period where they had participants meditate over those 8 weeks, and then they plugged them into an MRI machine and showed them sad pictures, sad stimuli, to see how they would respond before and after. The results showed a decrease in activity in the medial prefrontal cortex, which is involved in self-referential processing, and an increase in the lateral prefrontal cortex, which is related to body awareness. Now, this practically means that meditation can help you process emotions more rapidly. It can help you be more resilient to sad stimuli and more welcoming of happy stimuli, and just help you become a more calm and centered person in your everyday, day-to-day life. Study number 8 is all about memory and cognitive functioning. They looked at avid meditators at their brains and found that the white matter in their brains, specifically in the brain region known as the corpus callosum, were elevated. There's an increase in white matter in that brain region. The corpus callosum facilitates brain communication. It allows certain brain regions to communicate with other brain regions. So when there's an increase in white matter in that specific brain region, you know that connectivity across different brain regions is enhanced. And this means superior memory and cognitive functioning. So practically, this means that meditation can help you retain information better and just, develop your memories more smoothly and help your brain communicate more smoothly. So as you can see from these 8 different studies, meditation has so many benefits, from improved brain connectivity to improved learning and memory and cognitive functioning to reduce stress and improved emotional regulation, and many more. I mean, the benefits seem endless, and I feel like every day we're uncovering more and more benefits. So honestly, I don't really see a downside to at least implementing 10 minutes of mindfulness meditation each and every day. Who doesn't have 10 minutes after all to spare? And this is especially wonderful because this is a zero-cost actionable behavior that anybody can conduct. You don't need fancy equipment or a special program or anything like that. All you got to do is focus on your breath. Just focus on being mindful and present. And I know that it can be difficult when you first start, but once you do it more and more, day after day, it becomes easier and easier, and eventually you'll even look forward to it. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I hope that each of you decides to add meditation into your daily routine.